It worked this time. Well done introduction. Welcome to episode 79, did you say, Chunt? Was that the number?
I did.
79 of our Let's Talk Games podcast. We don't really talk about video games much these days. We've been MIA for a long while. Apologies for that, but life has been getting in the way, so we just wanted to do something to kind of close the year out. Unfortunately, we're missing our third compatriot. Daniel is away. He's enjoying being a married man. He had a wedding this last week, so congrats to him.
Yes.
Long may his happiness continue. And he enjoyed the perks of being a married man. There are several, of which we don't need to go into. But yeah, we wish you all the best, and we'll see you again in the new year. Speaking of, I think we should probably have a bit of an update, Chunt. So we've been talking this last kind of few weeks about what we do to get more consistency, because we've fallen off the wagon this last few months. You were you've been working ridiculous hours, through the nights for a period of 3 months of that. Making it really difficult for us to actually get to talk to each other. Dan, I've just said he's moved house, he's had a wedding, I've had a second child, and I'm flogged with work. We usually record during my lunch breaks, but they've been few and far between. So we've not really been able to do anything like that. So I think going forward into 2022, we're probably going to look to keep things bi-weekly initially, and commit to every other week. Make sure we can sit down for an hour and do one of these things. So that's the plan. Whether it happens, don't know. Next thing, Chunt, your camera and your microphone. You got some new gear. It looks good. Sounds good. How have you been anyway?
I'm pretty happy. Oh, I'm pretty good, man. Just over the work thing today, and then I've time off until I go back to work the 4th of January. So it'll be a good break, and I'll finally see my family. Borders are open over Christmas and New Year, so I'll finally be able to go see them. So I'm excited about that. Otherwise, man, shift changes. I'm sorry over it. I'm working 5 a.m. starts at the moment. It was a different change from the 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. shifts that I was on.
Yeah.
So a bit different, but otherwise, just watching a lot of movies, playing games, and just hanging out. Back at the gym again, which is good. I'm feeling great about that. That's the one thing I think I was having a bit of a hard time in just life in general, because there's a lot of good for your mind, and just you lost me. What?
Yeah, just as you were saying about your gym sessions, you cut up.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Well, it's just great for your mindset, and I'm just glad I've got that back, which is awesome. So I do that, come home, play some games, and bed. And that's my life cycle at the moment. Nothing really massive to report.
Yeah,
but yes, the new toys.
You got some new toys.
Sorry, I totally forgot. Yeah, man. Oh, this little road deck. Oh my! I've wanted this for so long. I've ranted on about it for years, and I was just like, fuck it, I'll just do it. I love it, and the new microphone just needed an upgrade. It's the one I had before. Again, we're talking about my mouse. It's about 7 years or something. Which is, I got all that stuff around the same time, so it's about due for an upgrade. And the camera itself, I was using a Logitech C920
for a decade,
which is so now I've got this Canon, was it M50? I don't know what it is, but it looks really nice, or considerably better than the webcam I've got. I just need to work on the background.
So you just you're just routing that through a cam link, are you? So that's
no, man. I've got. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I didn't buy an Elgato cam link. There are all other cheaper alternatives that do just good. It's 4K compatible, that one I got, even though this isn't 4K camera. But like you said, just get the 4K one, so it'll be extra bandwidth for better quality. And I've got that plugged in the HDMI to USB, the adapter, and then I've got the actual USB cable plugged into the computer, so I can control it with the EOS M50. So I can adjust it on the fly. I don't have to actually touch the camera, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. So because I'm going to look at doing the same thing myself. And I spoke to you. This is completely not video game related. We're just nerding out about gear. But I upgraded my whole actual production rig. So I've traditionally shot Panasonic for what, 6 years, and when I've done any kind of production work, and I've moved that gradually over kind of the last couple of years to Sony, and the camera's outrageous. Like the difference in quality of the codecs and stuff that I'm working with is really cool. So I was going to look at seeing if I could grab because have you got a dummy battery, or are you just running? Are you running the internal battery? Yeah, you got a dummy battery. I'm going to look at grabbing a dummy battery and yeah, something akin to a Camlink. Whether I actually get a Camlink or not, I don't know.
Hey, I'll send you the Amazon link for one I got. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I wouldn't need like 4K for this type of stuff. You just the camera can do it, but I'd still run it at 1080 anyway for a webcam. It doesn't need to be that, but it'd be pretty cool as a little upgrade as well. Because I'm going to do a I think early next year, like when I get, as you can see behind me, my room is Santa's grotto at the moment. And we've got the baby in here at night at the minute while we're sleep training and stuff. So when I get my office back next year, I'm going to have my sound panels need replacing. You're supposed to do it every 2 years. Apparently they can gather like bacteria and stuff in them, and like having the baby in here and stuff. So I'm gonna strip all those down next year. I'm thinking black wall, maybe some white sound panels, a little bit of color throws, and change the background up for me, because I want to get some stuff in here to do some photography stuff as well. So yeah, some nice gear changes going on, little projects, because as I can just see the world being closed next year as it has been this. I don't think it's going to change. It makes it hard to do the production type work that I love. So whatever you can do remotely is helpful. My calendar is stacking up for January, so we're saying we'll try to do bi-weekly, but the first couple of weeks of January I've already got sort of 3 trips planned in, providing our government doesn't shut the world down. So there's a bit of a life and gear update from us. We probably should do a little bit of video game chat and that in.
Yes.
We both played Halo Infinite. You've played considerably more than I have. That seems like a good place to start.
I finished it.
Yeah. So without dropping any spoilers, what's your takeaway from Infinite?
Kind of whelmed to underwhelmed as far as the campaign experience goes, and I will refrain from saying too key, but there were answers that I was hoping to have. Sorry, there were questions that I was hoping to have answered, and I didn't get them, and a lot of other things that left more questions for what's to come. And unfortunately, I'm not too savvy on the ancillary media or other lore as far as is concerned, and I feel like I missed out on some things that were spoken of throughout the campaign, and I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But you can tell, like I mentioned in the chat, you can tell it was just not done right. Like it feels like they shifted gears at some point, which we know they did, and the presentation, like cinematically, like when you come from Halo 4, like cinematically and visually, those games are stunning. Like, say what you want about the campaigns, I loved Halo 4, love it. It's one of my favorites in my top 3 of the Halo games. Halo 5 has similar kind of feeling, but when I replayed it some months ago, it was a lot better than I remembered it. I think the disdain or the bad taste of that game wore off over time, and I enjoyed it the next. But this one, it's a very shallow experience in comparison, which is disappointing. But if you can separate the campaign or what you're actually doing in the world, or the world map, I'll just call it, it's quite fun. Like, I do quite enjoy around Zalo, was it Zeta Halo, and finding random skirmishes to get involved in, or taking out the odd tower or base and stuff, and that's kind of fun. And you can fast travel back to one of your bases you've captured and rig up a massive tank, and then take a couple of side and drive back to a place that you might have failed at and just wreck house with the tank. That kind of thing is fun, and just snooping around the world looking for upgrades, and you can find these lockers or cabinets, what do you want to call them, Terry, baskets, I don't know what they're called, but they have extra cosmetics for the multiplayer that you can unlock throughout the world, which is kind of cool. So there are reasons to roam. the first thing I did the first couple of missions, and I was like, right, I'm getting bruised a bit, so I just went around the world and just found as many Spartan upgrades as I could, and just fully upgraded my shields like early game, you know. So the rest of the game was relatively smoother in that regard, but I do find myself wanting to go back into the world and just having a good romp now and then. But I wasn't left with a sense of like, fuck yeah, that was a really good experience. I remember finishing it going, I care not for Atriox. I care not for this new AI and pilots, and I have no idea what's going on. You know, I'm a bit pretty disappointed. I did put it out there. I'll hand it over to you in a minute, but I did put it out there on some social groups and on Twitter and some Xbox forums and stuff. I've just been like, this is my thoughts on the game, and I got a lot of mixed responses from it. A lot of people were like telling me to go kill myself, kind of shit as usual, but most of it was positive. Like a lot of people liked it. I don't know if the people that just didn't like it went there, but I somehow feel in the minority, you know, because I looked at the review score and it was pretty good, right? Scores are good, but
yeah, really good.
Yeah, it just didn't mesh with my experience. So I don't know. So I finished the whole campaign. I watched the credits and I saw the after credits and waited until what happens when it puts you back in the world. And then I was like, right, I'm going to jump out. And that's kind of where I finished and mucked around some multiplayer. So where are you at? Are you still half a few missions
literally
in?
two missions in. Yeah, I didn't get through. I played launch day. I played the opening mission and I was like, this is pretty cool. I think I said to you, I'd been playing on my PC, and thank God for cross save, because it means that I could go downstairs, you know, put the Series X on, play it on the OLED, which I wanted to do, but it's got some sound design issues with Atmos, and that really pissed me off, because it was like I wanted the full Atmos cinema experience. It's great, you can hear like the grunts talking behind you, and you know the ships flying overhead. I was like, this is cool, but then when you have all that go in, you shoot the gun and the gun doesn't make a noise, and it's like it's got some Dolby Atmos problems. It's definitely not the TV, because it's not happening in any other the sound bar and the sound system, because it's not happening in other games. So I don't know what that's about. So that just wound me up, so I turned it off, and I literally have not had a chance to even try and jump back in since. So it's been a mad few weeks. I do want to. I really enjoyed the first few levels though. Like, you know, just starting to use like the escaping the ship and stuff with the grapple hook, which, again, not to give any spoilers and what have you, because it's not. It's just it's traversing the world, and it's like this grapple hook actually makes sense. It's really cool. Yes. But I've played a lot of the multiplayer. I know that's been out considerably longer, but really enjoying that. I hate the leveling system. I hate it. It's like if I'm putting a shift in and, you know, finishing top of the leaderboard and have, you know, most flags captured or most points captured or, you know, most assists, most kills, and it's like I still just get like 100 experience. It's like, nah, you need to start rewarding people based on performance, because we do that everywhere else in life. It's why video games work. It's why you get people on that hook to go more experience, more. You get on the treadmill, right? It's like if you ran on a treadmill and had a sick session, felt like you hadn't done anything after. That's exactly kind of how this feels. And other than that, I can't. The actual combat and the gameplay, the multiplayer is the closest they've got to that feeling of Halo 3 for me, and since Halo 3. It's
fantastic.
It is. It's really, like, really good. But story
the campaign, mate. Like,
I intend to over the break. Yeah.
The bloody combat shit. I forgot to mention about it, but you just reminded me. Like, even just going through the campaign, the combat fun and traversing the environments and the levels where you go through and like, grapple hooking around and the other abilities that you pick up. Like, you've experienced multiplayer that you do come across them as you like. There's that kind of RPG system that they've got. Master Chief, where you can upgrade his suit and shit. Not really a spoiler, it's been presented before, but I fully upgraded my grapple, so the cooldown was considerably shorter. So I was able to get around a lot easier and quicker and avoid certain things, and, you know, grab something over here and throw it, and then zoom in and some other dude. Like, that whole navigating the skirmish was fun. Those little things that happen, but the in-betweens story is like, okay.
Yeah, I agree with you. I haven't obviously seen much of Atriox, but like the initial meeting of him that you have, not with him, but you have, he doesn't give me. I mean, I don't know how to present this, because the best comparison, and it's probably kind of a fair one, is look at how Bungie did it back in the day, and look what they're doing now. Like Destiny's villains, right? Gaul was Atriox feels like Gaul, right, in the Destiny universe. So Gaul was like made up to be this big bad. He was fucking pointless, and you nuked him within like an 8-hour campaign. The real threats, like in that world that they've built, you know, think back to King's Fall, and you know, having Oryx and these ever-present, omnipresent characters. Like now, with the darkness and the veil and stuff, it's like they've built these villains. And Atriox for me isn't that. In the previous game, it's like Locke was kind of the villain, but then Chief was also the villain, and then Cortana's the villain. And it's like they struggle so much with storytelling. It's why I have I don't have any high hopes for the story. What I want to enjoy is the combat and the moment to moment. And from what you're saying, that's kind of like where you've landed as well. Like the story is jank, and the actual combat and the fun that you can have in the game is for sure there. So yeah, I'm keen to play some more of it over the break. I think I'm going to jump into Assassin's Creed Valhalla over the break as well. I've owned it for a year. I started it, and it was like I knew what was going to happen because I played Odyssey last year, and I was Assassin's Creed to kind of burn out. And Odyssey was, as I alluded to, my favourite game experience last year. I loved it. So I might jump into Valhalla over Christmas as well, and have kind of, you know, the shooter and the kind of open world RPG. I've played a little bit more New World. I'm gradually kind of grinding to max level, but again, that is literally 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there. And the same with Destiny. They've had their the 30-year anniversary of Bungie, so there's a bunch of stuff going on in the game. It is now like Moments of Triumph as well, and you know, they've got the Christmas event thing going on, the Dawning, so there's loads going on in Destiny, but I just haven't had time to sit and get stuck in. So I'll do that over the break as well, because I want to play the dungeon that came with the 30th anniversary content. Get my Galahorn back from the original D1. That'll be quite a fun experience. But I haven't actually had a chance to play anything else, mate. I don't know if you have. Is there anything else that you've managed to get through other than that?
Yeah, man. Like Lawnmowers. Played a bit of that.
I wanted to do that as well. Everybody was saying it was really therapeutic. What's the vibe?
Yeah, it's pretty chill, man. Like I had a positive and a negative experience with it, because I was enjoying it. I made my character. I picked my mower. I did the tutorial. Knew what I was doing. I did the first lawn that you get like as a job that you got to go do, and I did that first go, and I was like, yeah, this is really cool. Enjoying this, and then it wouldn't boot me back to the whatever, like the screen that you have to return to for another job, or like the main menu or some shit. Like it just, I finished it. I got my and whatever else, and then loading back to the main area again, and it didn't go anywhere. Like the game froze or something. I don't know. Like I could like close the game and reopen it, and you know, I could use my guide button. So it wasn't my Xbox that was frozen, and music was still going. And I was like, all right, fuck, I'll cold shut the game down and boot it back up again. And I lost all my progression. So I was like, well, I mean, you had me.
You've had your chance, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I was like, no, I'm good. And so I uninstalled it. But I see it around on Twitter, and just people are playing it. I'm like, I did enjoy my time with it. It's worth a go at least once, but yeah, go. But after that, I don't know if you've heard of this little small game called XO1 Game Pass. I think it still is. It's you can play it, you can finish it in like a number of hours, like 3. I finished it in under 2 hours, and it's like you play as this person in this technologically advanced spaceship. There is a bit of lore behind it. As you go, you find out what's kind of behind it. Very stellar kind of contact, kind of storytelling. But you're just constantly in this little disc, like this ball ship that you can like squish down to a disc and like go back to a ball to like constantly gaining momentum throughout the level, and you can glide across the like the sky or across the water. You can skim across, and the goal is like to get to the next teleport point on every planet that you're on, and like find upgrades along the way. But you're constantly trying to just keep the momentum going of travel. Once you get in the rhythm of it, it's a really cool experience. I think pretty sure it's an independent game, but it looks very. To some points, I'm like, wow, it's a very pretty game. I was pretty surprised by some of the landscapes and some of the visuals in the game. Yeah, it's worth playing. The music's kind of atmospheric. Like the spacescapes are pretty cool, and some of the level design was kind of very interesting. There's one level I fucking hated. It was in like a jungle planet, and it was just shit. And I got lost, and I was like getting frustrated with it. But I somehow, I don't know how, but I managed to get to where I needed to go. But otherwise, yeah, it was really, really cool. After that, I finished through Star Wars Squadrons because I've been on a Star Wars kick lately, like Jedi Fallen Order recently, and then I finished Squadron. I've got Force Awakens 1 and 2 loaded on the console as well, ready to go. But Squadrons is really cool, man. It's very pretty, very pretty dogfighting, Star Warsy stuff, which is fun. And then The Matrix Awakens Real 5 demo. You played that?
I have, yeah. Yep. Yeah. I did. I played that the day it came out. It's wicked.
Yes, yeah. Wow, like pretty awesome to see. Like, holy shit! Like,
there were uncanny valley moments, like, but there were also moments where I didn't realize that Keanu Reeves was digital. Do you know what I mean? You know, when he's walking around the actual space of the movie, I thought it was just him, the actor, but then as he kind of gets closer to the camera, you're like, oh my god, no, it's like he's superimposed here as a CGI character. It's magnificent, and the scale of that open world. I mean, I think the prettiest open world I've played is probably Miles Morales. Like that did real world really well. But that was just something else. I mean, they've got to work on the frame rate and the motion blur and stuff, but it's a tech demo because it was nauseating at times, like the amount of blur. But just to see like where this tech's going, like it's wild. It was really, really cool, and I really can't wait to watch the movie. It's out today, right? 22nd.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I've been trying to avoid spoilers. I really hope it's good, man. I really do. Like the Matrix, I love the Matrix, and it really didn't need a fourth one. Like it really didn't, you know. So I'm hoping that it's worth damning the other ones or whatever. I don't know, but yeah. Besides that, not much else, man. Like Monster Hunter, we've gone back to that. I played a bit of Aliens Fireteam. I played a bit of that the other night with Sarah and.
Is that on Game Pass?
It's on Game Pass. Yeah, I mean it's a bit average, but it's pretty fun. Hordes of like xenomorphs. Yeah. Like it's worth playing. I was enjoying myself, and there's you can create your own character like with a bare bones creation system and pick your class and all that kind of stuff and go.
So just to go back a sec, talk to me about Iceborne. Will it drag me back into Monster Hunter, or will I literally just go, I've experienced this, I don't need to do this again? Because I nailed Mon Hun when it first came out.
I think I think you dig it, man. Like, so some of the monsters that you have to fight are just a lot harder than the main campaign. And like we recently in the last couple of sessions we finally can kill the Barioth enough times that I could get full armor set for me and my cat. And then we killed a bunch of like Black Diabolos and Great Jargus and stuff, so I can get like these really high level switchblades or switch axes, what do you call them? Yeah. So like been grinding the shit out because some of the Iceborne beasts, there's just like this black panther kind of super fast thing, like a bat crossed with a panther thing. It's so fucking fast, you know, and it's so powerful. And I purposely went and built one of these switch axes that had like exhaust file and sleepability on it just to slow the stupid thing down enough and get it exhausted so we could actually fight it. We still haven't beaten the goddamn thing, and like we're not low level either. Like it's really difficult. I couldn't even imagine doing it on your own, but I mean you probably could. But I think you'd dig it, man.
Yeah, maybe I'll check it out. It's bound to be on sale. Like it must be the sort of £10 or £15 here. I loved Monster Hunter and I really wanted to do Iceborne, but at the time where Iceborne came out, I was in that period where I literally was just PC gaming and you couldn't do cloud transfer for saves for Monster Hunter or anything like that. So I might do it. I might do it and then catch you up and come help you kick the shit out of this big bat thing that you can't.
Please do. Oh my God.
I'll see if it's a time thing for me. It's so weird, isn't it? Like you go from being a kid and it's like you don't have the funds to play all these video games you want to, and then you're an adult like with your own kids and it's like, oh, I could afford to do that, but I don't have the time. Time is money, mate. Time is currency. So yes, anything else, or is that kind of where you've been for the last month or so since we last spoke?
Yeah, man, just the Halo campaign. Well, that's it. That's all I've been doing. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I said I've nothing else to add in terms of like what I've played or anything or what I'm excited for. It'd be interesting to see how console supply goes into January, February, because we know obviously Horizon's coming out early Q1. Loads of stuff's coming out early Q1. Destiny's expansion, The Witch Queen's out in February as well. The list is like never
Pokemon
ending.
Arceus.
I'm not even touching that over 10-foot barge pole. It's going to be a janky mess, and if I'm wrong, I will buy it. But I didn't even get Diamond and Pearl remakes. I haven't got the time. What's the point in spending money when they're going to sit on a shelf or on a memory card? Like there's just no point. So yeah, what's on the radar for you then in terms of exciting for the first couple of months of next year? For me, it would be Horizon. To be fair, I don't think anything else is going to kind of dwarf that. Destiny.
I don't know, man. I honestly don't. Like I'm very curious about Arceus. I hope the showings that they've made so far aren't indicative of the final product. Because the concept and the art style and the aesthetics of the whole thing, it does very much interest me, but not the way it was running. Like just looks like shit. So I'm kind of I'll wait, But games like, man, I don't even get me started. Like I'm just getting through my backlog, and I made a pretty good dent on it so far. Like I finally up to Far Cry Primal, and I bought that fucking ages ago.
Great video.
I've been swapping my backlog around. Like feel like go through these, and so I'm getting through them now and then. But I don't, man.
Have you started Primal yet?
Nah, not yet. Like I literally just finished Halo Infinite. But yeah, it's next up. Like I'll see if I can get a start on it before I go away for the holidays. If not, a day or two free when I return, I might.
It legitimately is my favorite Far Cry game. It doesn't feel like a Far Cry game. It feels
awesome.
It feels very similar to Horizon in some ways. Except the robots are replaced with actual wild animals, but you can tame them and stuff. It's really cool. I think you'll dig it. I think you'll enjoy it.
I've heard a lot of good things about it.
One of my favorite. Well, it is my favorite Far Cry for sure. But the next year's got heaps of stuff coming. It's worth thinking about. There's Gotham Knights due at some point. Suicide Squad is allegedly also next year. That is getting pushed to 2023. I don't care what anybody says. That's not going to come out next year. Hogwarts Legacy is finally supposed to come out. That's kind of Warner Brothers bit done. The next gen patch for Cyberpunk, the next gen patch for Witcher. Like there's some stuff to be excited for there, but I think it's all
Sonic Frontiers, motherfucker.
Yeah,
I want it.
That's
open world Sonic game.
Yeah, it looks pretty coul. Whether it hits next year or not, again, I'm dubious on that one. But it's just the world's still in this state where we can't. I said to you, I'm not planning for or getting excited about anything because it's just like I don't actually have the time to be invested in it at the moment. So I'll get to it when it comes, kind of thing. Still haven't finished Kenna Bridge of Spirits, and that was like my most anticipated game of this year. I'm like an hour and a half into it.
Yeah.
Destiny will lure me
I want
back in.
PS5.
Yeah, I'll grab one again. I mean, I managed to get a profit out of mine earlier this year because I wasn't using it,
Right. Yes.
and it paid for the graphics card for my computer. So fair dues. And then it's like right.
My brother just got his.
Yeah, I think there's some stock starting to trickle out, but it was the pre-Christmas stock, and there wasn't much.
Yeah.
As I said to you the other day, like this is going to continue for a long time. You know, you said about seeing it was going to go into 2023, and it's like it will, and probably beyond, because there's only there's only a specific amount of silicon these factories can produce, and when your competition doesn't just lie in your own industry, you've got a big problem, because other industries and other manufacturers are willing to pay more. That they'll charge more margin, and there are companies that are willing to pay it. And I don't see them as being, specifically on the Sony front, they're not gonna delve that deep into their pockets, because they need to mass produce this thing. Do you know what I mean?
Well, we could get away with the Xbox Series consoles and the PS5 going a bit longer, right? But Nintendo has
they're
Switch.
Stuck. They're stuck. They need to do something next year.
Yeah, like that thing's not going to be going that long. Like it was already like anemic, pretty much, like at launch anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But that's right, Kirby. What's that new Kirby game? Kirby. Oh, that they're bringing out a 3D. Like it looks like Mario Odyssey, but it's not. But it's Kirby.
Yeah, I remember.
I don't know why, but that game, I saw the trailer. I'm like, well, hot damn, that I want it for some reason. Like I've never wanted to play a Kirby game before until I saw that trailer. I'm like,
I can't
wow.
say I ever have. Like I've never have done, and never had any inclination to be honest.
Yes.
But yeah,
my interest is peaked.
New. Hey?
Yes. My interest is peaked on that one. Like,
fair.
Can't lie.
Very fair. Right, so there's lots to go on with then into 2022. More frequent communication would be good.
Yes.
From I know we speak to each other most days anyway, but I mean in terms of making sure we get time to actually sit down and have a conversation about it. Well, there's nothing else from me. Is there anything else from you?
Yes. If someone wants to donate me a PlayStation 5, I want to play through Spider-Man PS4 Ultimate Remastered thing, because Spider-Man, I want to play Spider-Man, and
it was outstanding. That film was outstanding. It really was. So yeah, enjoy Christmas, you and everybody else.
I will.
Enjoy spending time with your family, and everybody else. Go see No Way Home, because it's absolutely fantastic. And we will at some point in January do this all again as our full accompaniment. And we wish you all a happy, holidays, as we're supposed to say, but Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We'll see you next time.
Get drunk, have sex.
Do those things.